This is Black Views bringing you the Black News. So today I have a report here, all hands on deck, FBI hunts for Charlie Kirk's killer. So we're going to react to a video, and let's start out by saying that, Charlie Kirk, no matter what you hear from Fox, Charlie Kirk was not a proponent of black people. He was an anti-black individual, and he used rhetoric that was very hurtful to black people in general. He spoke of DEI as if that was something that black people, only black people, and was created only for black people. Like this was the second coming of affirmative action, which they got rid of affirmative action and created DEI for LGBTQ and trans people. So we're going to go ahead and go along with this video, and then I am going to react to it. We're going to stop and we're going to go. Let's go.
Underway for the assassin who shot and killed conservative political icon Charlie Kirk during a campus event in Utah.
The 31-year-old co-founder of Turning Point USA was struck by a single bullet roughly 20 minutes after taking the stage for his American comeback tour.
People around the world are mourning the loss of one of the driving forces behind the modern conservative movement. Many
one second, go ahead.
Praising him for creating Turning Point and the impact it has had on the American political landscape.
So this was a guy that was going out here saying that that white people were discriminated against, and that all the programs and things that were put in place to assist black people was somehow that was a handout. That was something. Although white people, it's same as when you talk about welfare or you talk about benefits, white people and foreigners and everyone else was getting it, but Charlie Kirk will only speak on black people as if black people were the only people that were receiving benefits. And think about it. This is a guy that was born in 1993, so he doesn't know about the 80s, doesn't know about the 70s, and so he comes out today when white people are being villainized for their actions. He comes out today and he kind of turns the table and says the media is doing this. The same media that's owned by the white people. This is white on white crime, and these are white issues. Let's go.
When did you form Turning Point?
In June of 2012.
And why did you call it Turning Point?
At the time I felt as if we were kind of in a generational turning point. I said, hey, I think we could do a better job of reaching young people.
Yeah.
And now we contrast what we've been able to do, largely thanks to the movement that President Donald Trump has built. We've kind of been riding that energy and that momentum with where the Democrats are now currently. I mean, the tables have completely flipped over the last decade. And it goes to show that this patriotic revival is being led.
See, is opportunists. You see, listen. Republicans and Democrats are both white people. They're all white people, and they have their own ideologies, obviously. One side wants to see LGBTQ and wants to see, all these things happen with trans, and they want to see, and then you have another side that feel like they are the children of the Confederates, the rightful owners of America, and that's where he comes from. And if you are a foundational black American, this is why I say you're not Republican or Democrat. The only thing you can do is ride the line on whatever policy that seems to work for us, because they are in charge. This is their system. This is their political system. This is their law system. So when people get captured and released and all these things, these are rules that they have created. Charlie Kirk's people has created. White on white crime. Charlie Kirk's people. That's the same guy that uses the rhetoric that only white people commit crime. That only black people commit crimes. So let's go. He also said Martin Luther King was a hateful individual. Born in 1993. I was in Mombasa, Kenya when he was born. Let's go.
By the
I was in the U.S. Marines, by the way.
youngest Americans. That should give everyone a lot of hope.
We are going to be talking to young conservatives across the country this morning who are reflecting on Kirk's legacy. To countless young people, he was the voice of their generation.
What legacy does he have? What legacy did he have? Once again, he was born in 1993. What has he created? What has he done? For who? And who has he done it for? Let's go.
Pointing to his iconic campus visits where
he reminds me of that guy, Nick Fuentes. See? There they go. They right there, right beside each other. And what they're all doing is they are the true con artists that's making money off of the masses of white people. These are cowards. They don't talk about the actual white people that are creating these situations, the businesses that are giving jobs away, the foreigners. His own people are affected by what business owners does. No, he doesn't talk about that. Just talks about crime, violent crime, and gangs, which is probably like I said, once again, that is 5 to 10% of black people. That's 5 to 10% of most groups that commit crimes. Do you understand what I'm saying? But a person like Charlie Kirk is an opportunist. He saw a great opportunity to rile up a base of ignorant people. When I say ignorant, I mean they don't know what's going on around. They don't know what's going on around them. They've never been anywhere. They don't know any black people. This is why he goes to Utah and he spews this mess, because they don't know black people out there. There's no black people out there. I mean, there's some, but they don't come across them. They only see black people on TV. So the movies, the music, which is all controlled by his people, they're all in cahoots. And so what happened to you, Charlie Kirk, is called karma. And there's nothing that we can do about it. And I don't care. Let's go.
he would open the floor to debate on top political issues. You are watching Fox and Friends First on this Thursday morning.
They say he opened the floor to debate on top political issues. Do you know who he was opening the floor to? Children that went to college to get an education. And because they were confused or didn't have enough knowledge about what they were talking about, he would sit there and talk about semantics. What white people talk about per capita. Okay? This is how they keep from fixing the problems that they have created. And this is why they are in a shithole, because all these things are coming back on them. Let's go.
I'm Carly Shimkus.
And I am Todd Pyro. Let's get straight to Matt Finn, live from Orne, Utah, with the latest on the man. Matt.
Todd, it is calm and quiet here on campus of the Utah Valley University right now. Just a stark contrast to the horror that ripped across this campus not long ago. And if I step off camera right now and we push in.
I just found it amazing. Was it drug related? We don't know what the reason. Is anybody investigating why Charlie Kirk was assassinated? Is it something that he said? What's going on? Was it crime? Is it crime related? Was it foul play? Why is this happening? And then you got to think, the man got away. Does he have a list of other individuals that he's going to, go after? We have to see.
And you could see a terribly grim scene. You might be able to make out the outline of that white tent that Charlie Kirk was inside of when he was fatally shot on this campus.
American comeback. What is the American comeback? To talk shit about black people? You think you're gonna get the world to bully us? We've already been bullied. We already know that the world is against foundational black Americans. We already know. It's nothing that you can do to us that hasn't already happened. We're not going nowhere, player. And look what's happening to you. All you little ignorant white supremacists, look what's happening to you. Yeah.
I believe it might have been a part of his Prove Me Wrong table. This was all a part of Kirk's American comeback tour. He had planned to attend several other universities and college campuses around the country in the coming weeks and months. Right now, the shooter still at large. 2 suspects were taken into custody, but both were released.
Amazing. Somehow they cannot. Look, they had security. Somebody's speaking, right? You would think there would be security there, right? I saw a guy that was on stage right beside Charlie Kirk, was looking out there with shades on, like he was Secret Service. You know, this is a Trump and what's the other, whoever the other guy, the vice president's friend right here. Remember, he's such a great guy. He did such great things. But there's a goddamn sniper on the roof, and nobody bothered to look on the roof. What type of security did he have? It makes no sense. I don't even understand how security could stand there beside him and not be looking on the roof and see a silhouette or what's shooting at him. According to the information that we have here, that it was the shooter was on the roof.
The FBI set up a tip line. Authorities say the shooter appeared to be in all black and on a roof. Here is dispatch audio describing the suspect.
Going to be wearing all black, black long gun, black tactical helmet, a black mask, possibly wearing a tactical vest and jeans.
They got all this information. I mean, honestly, think about it. The man came to speak, and y'all didn't have no security for him. Adequate security at that.
The Utah Valley University Chief of Police says 6 police officers were working this event. In addition to Charlie's personal security team, 3,000 people packed onto this campus to listen to and engage with Charlie Kirk. Utah Governor Spencer Cox calls the shooting a political assassination.
But I want to make it crystal.
He says a political assassination. See, that's white people doing what they want to do. He doesn't know if it's a political assassination. They haven't done a thorough investigation yet. He doesn't know if this is drug related or if this has to do with gangs or whatever Charlie Kirk had going on that we don't know about. But he immediately comes out and say, this is a political assassination. Almost as if to say, oh, he was shot because he was trying to make a stance to make America great. Listen, it's called karma. Charlie Kirk was talking about violence, and violence visited his door. Let's go.
Clear right now to whoever did this, we will find you.
No, you're not. You're not going to find him.
We will try you, and we will hold you accountable to the furthest extent of the law.
Honestly, if that sniper got away with this, was able to get away, I mean, out of sight, he gone. Huh? You're not gonna find him. In fact, like I said, if he got one, that means he could get 2, because he got away. Let's go.
And I just want to remind people that we still have the death penalty here in the state of Utah.
So the governor...
Oh, I know. They were hoping this was some black guy that they could find and blame it on.
Reminding people about capital punishment here in Utah. A manhunt is presumably underway right now, but here on campus it is very calm. Not even a large police presence here right now, and pretty much anybody on the public could walk onto this property if they wanted to. We've been talking to sources, getting updates from law enforcement, and we will keep you updated hour by hour. Carly, Todd.
And Matt, you just mentioned what you're seeing right now in terms of a police presence, but as you were driving into town earlier this morning, late evening, did you notice police en masse in the area? In other words, were they going door to door on campus, potentially looking for this individual, or was it as quiet as it is right now?
You know, I did not see a huge police presence driving into the campus or even on the campus. They were really just...
The failure of these people will be to underestimation. They constantly lie to themselves. This is a delusional set of people. And their demise will be their delusion. Because they underestimate. They seriously think that black people are after them. And it's their own. They don't even police their own at all. In fact, they have excuses for everything that they own do. Whenever they are killers and crime, guess what they do? Oh, that person had a mental problem. Poor thing. He needed help and he didn't get it. Black people never get that type of consideration, or thought that they may be black people that have mental problems and this is why they commit the crimes that they have. No, never. We never get that consideration. But what are they going to say about this? And then it was a mass shooting, another mass shooting after that. So, I mean, what is going on with white people that they can't see that they are committing their own crimes?
Just kind of blocking some traffic earlier, but now it's remarkably calm. I mean, if you were to walk here right now, you may not even realize what happened here yesterday. But Fox did learn that police were going door to door in nearby neighborhoods, asking people if they saw anyone that they did not recognize, but no major update there. A source that I talked to, a federal source, said that of course there are things happening behind the scenes right now, but we just don't have any major updates, and we have to wait and see what law enforcement brings us.
Well, we lost a generation.
They have nothing. A sniper got off the roof, and they had cameras situated where they saw a silhouette, but he got off the school campus. People was just running everywhere. And they stopped all the people they thought who it was. I'm surprised they didn't stop any black people.
Generational talent yesterday, and you were standing on a campus in mourning. Matt Finn, live for us. Matt, thank you.
Yeah.
Let's bring in former homicide detective Brian Foley. Brian, thank you for joining us this morning. There is nobody in
let's see what
custody
this
right
guy
now. You
talking
heard
about.
the description of the assassin wearing dark clothing fired from a campus, a roof on campus. Who could have done something like this, given the nature of
who
this
could have done it?
assassination?
Tell us.
Well, as a homicide detective, let me speak as a homicide.
Look at this guy's birthday, 1993. And they allow him to talk about Martin Luther King, to talk about civil rights, as if our people, foundational black Americans, didn't sacrifice. YouTube, Fox 5, all the major media allows this. And they constantly, and then this guy says that they are being discriminated against by the same media that boosts his notoriety. That's what I'm saying. They play games with themselves. And if you try to, try to sit there and try to figure the game out, you're gonna go crazy too. You just gotta know they're out of their minds, and they lie to each other all the time. Let's go. And they do it at your job. If you ever get the opportunity to work around these people are liars, and they protect themselves with lies. They are not to be trusted, especially in a corporate environment. If you're a black person that works in corporate, your best bet is to mind your goddamn business. Do what the hell you're supposed to do. Mind your business. Be on time and do your job, because these people are liars. Make sure you get an email for everything that they ask you to do. And they'll lie about that email. You don't have to come back and be like, okay, well, this is the email that you sent me here. You told me, oh, yeah, okay, it was a misunderstanding. Don't make a big deal about it. See? They're liars.
Homicide detective, I don't like it. You look at that description: black mask, black helmet, all blacked out, possibly a tack vest. You have a long
black mask, black helmet.
gun getting into campus, a long gun getting out of campus. No gun recovered at this point.
A long gun. That's a rifle. A long gun is a rifle. Okay, he's getting in and out of campus with a long gun. Nobody's seen him go out. Let me tell you what, that guy got on the roof, came back in that building, and put on his cook uniform and started giving out shakes and sandwiches. Okay, that's white people. These are criminals. Okay, and they talk about these criminals like they're decent people.
What that tells me is this was well planned, well executed, and my answer to you is I don't know, and what they're dealing with right now is a whodunit. But because you don't see all those law enforcement resources, as the reporter just said, that doesn't mean everything
Brian
is going on.
doesn't
This is
know.
all hands on deck. It reminds me of the Boston Marathon bombing and all the resources that are going to be coming in. State, local, federal. Look at the university. The university is going to be able to help the law enforcement only in regards to recovering a video, opening doors, and getting into places to look to recover the gun. You don't have a shell casing. You don't have anything. This was well planned. That single shot, one gunshot, you look at what happened to President Trump with multiple shots and such, that single shot here is alarming, that it was well planned at range, 200 yards, I'm sure.
Listen, he's estimating that the rifleman is a trained rifleman because it took one shot. It'll take one shot for any person that's been trained with a rifle. And if he's hitting them from 100 yards, 150 yards away, according to them, that's I don't want to say it's a walk in the park, but that's a walk in the park. Okay, I mean you just line them up.
With a high-powered rifle, clearly a high-powered rifle to a trained eye, with unfortunately what we saw, for someone to get something like that in and out of a university campus where guns aren't forbidden. So this is a real whodunit for the detectives.
Walk us through exactly what the FBI is doing right now, 4:06 a.m. East Coast time, the day after the shooting.
Perfect. This is a perfect scenario for the FBI to handle because this will likely span a large area. This is 40 miles south of Salt Lake. What they're doing, the main thing I would say is culling.
They're not doing anything because they don't have a clue. They don't know who. They're looking for someone to blame this on. That's all it was. If they could have blamed it on someone, but they don't know. They don't know who's doing it. It's because white on white crime is more sophisticated than Dusties that carjack. Okay? Dusties that shoot other drug dealers. Okay, so that these criminals, white criminals, are way more sophisticated and trained. Okay? I'm telling you, man, just listen.
Resources, putting together teams to go over those resources, going over video evidence. Think about now in the aftermath of the Boston bomb, again, that's why it sounds so familiar. They're going over so much video evidence, and that was a decade or more ago that happened. So there's so much more video evidence today. They're going around door to door. You heard them say in the neighborhoods, they're looking for ring cameras. They're looking for security cameras. But also, universities have license plate readers. There's traffic cameras in the area. The highways have traffic cameras. If you think of remember the Idaho murder where he moves across country, they're tracking those movements. What they're really doing now, though, Todd, is not looking what happened after the shooting and the getaway. They're looking prior to getting up to that building where the shots were coming from. I'm sure they've identified from trajectory, it's not going to be too difficult, the general area from where that came from. They're going to be able to look. Everyone always thinks what happened after the crime. They're looking what happened at the footprints prior to and getting up there.
Solving crimes.
But again, it makes me nervous that this is going to be a well-planned and well-executed, unfortunately, homicide.
Reading through some of the eyewitness accounts, Brian, from people who were there, one attendee said that he had a gun, he left it in his car because he assumed that there would be metal detectors there, and then when he got to the event, he was surprised by the lack of security. And then we have law enforcement yesterday at the press conferences saying that there were 6 officers assigned to this event, along with Charlie Kirk's personal security.
Well, you saw the governor there, right? The governor didn't have anything to say about it. Why wasn't there state police security there? Because nobody cares about Charlie Kirk. To them, when you talk about the legacy of Charlie Kirk, what was the legacy? No, he was just a person that went on campuses, okay, and down talked to young people that didn't understand history or didn't have a history of knowledge. He would just bamboozle them and say all type of rhetoric that they couldn't respond to because they weren't old enough to possibly experience or know how to combat what he was saying. And that's what Charlie Kirk was about. That's why you saw all those videos of him just talking to kids. And it's a grown-ass man going to college campuses talking to kids about race, trying to make and telling the kids, the white kids, that they are being discriminated against, because that's the MO
What
of
do
a
you make
shit
of that?
starter.
It was an event of 3,000 people.
Here we go. Now we're going to look at what the university had for a budget to plan for safety. How much were they going to spend on officers at this type of event? How much did they put into security? I can tell you this, it's going to change. It always happens after these events, is everyone's going to start now really.
Listen, I was a part-time bouncer. I'm not trying to say this the same as like security like this, but whenever you have an event, you know, you're supposed to have bodies. Okay? You're supposed to have bodies. You gotta have bodies. You gotta have eyes. You gotta have bodies, and those bodies help for deterrent. Okay? Should have been someone on the roof. Should have been someone at the access to the roof. You see what I'm saying? Like, who was in charge of security?
Over planning. It's confounding to me. You know, we planned for a Trump visit in Hartford years and years ago. We covered everything. I mean, every window, everything. The complacency that goes into event planning, into looking into these things is astounding and incredibly unfortunate here this morning that we have to deal with it. But I like that the chief was forthcoming and that they only had 6 officers and that they could have had more. This is a learning lesson for all those campuses across the United States now when they have these types of events. Maybe you move them indoors. It's much easier to control in an indoor event, but I'm sure that Charlie probably wanted it outdoors. He liked that type of scenario and that type of feel. It creates more security challenges, but you can certainly plan an event where you pivot or turn things so you can cover everything.
Do you think the FBI knows who the shooter is at this point?
Good question. I think they have some leads. They're not going to say anything. They're not going to tell us, you know, and you saw some communication where they had a suspect, they didn't have a suspect.
Look, when things happen to black people, they can't solve those crimes. They don't know who's removing all these young black women out of PG County. They can't tell you what. They got aliens, illegal aliens. They got all type of legal shit going on in this country that they can't keep tabs on. FBI is outnumbered. And when it comes to like black crime, they definitely don't know what the hell going on. So with you, maybe you have a better chance. We'll see.
Gets confusing. I can tell you this: the homicide detectives, the FBI agents, the state homicide detectives, they don't want to tell anyone anything. Other than public, please help us. You don't want anyone knowing anything because that secrecy is only to your benefit in chasing down a killer. So there is that conflict between command staff or directors and the field investigators of sharing information. But you want to be very controlling of what you put out to the public.
Okay, guys. So just went over Charlie Kirk's death. They're looking for the shooter out here. There were 2 guys that they did apprehend. But they later found out that they weren't involved in the shooting, and they let them go. So at this time, the shooter is still at large. And once again, like, see security right there? What is he looking at? Listen, I'm not trying to say he should have seen the sniper on the roof, but what is he looking at? I would be looking up on the damn roof because I saw Trump get sniped. Damn right, I'm looking out. It should have been like 6 guys, at least in that area, that should have been looking around, and then another 6 guys around the facility, especially access to any high level or unseen place. So I'm gonna go ahead and leave it at that. I don't feel sorry for Charlie Kirk. He was, if you ask me, he was a very hateful, mean person. He said a lot of anti-black things, and he also helped to get legislation pushed that basically undermine foundational black Americans. So I just want to get you abreast of what's going on here. I'm going to leave a link to this particular video. And thank you for coming through. Like, also subscribe, and share as well. I'll see you next time. This is Black Views, bringing you the Black News.